Hello, wonderful people. What's going on? Good morning from Dhaka, Bangladesh. I'm back with another review today, and today is going to be a niche house by Kilian, one of the most more expensive fragrance house, and this house gets a lot of talk, a lot of love among a lot of celebrities as well as fragrance enthusiasts. So I haven't had my fair share of By Kilians because these are supremely expensive, very hard to sample, and I would just like to say big thanks to Fragrance BD for sending me three precious samples in a pouch last time around. Panthobai brought these for me. So I have three, which one of them gonna get reviewed today, and my perhaps my one of the most favorite By Kilians I ever sniffed. Before this, I think I have done two reviews on By Kilian. One is the Miami Vice line, the green and the red. Other one is the Black Phantom, which was also coincidence was it was a gift from Fragrance BD. I think Tanzi Shubho Bhai and Panto Bhai, they sent it to me. I almost wore it out. I have a little bit left just to sniff it sometimes. It's amazing. Amazing fresh fruity perfume. Okay, so basically what you're gonna do, oh damn. Okay, yeah, keep it here. Keep it there, stay there. Okay. So I have a sample here, official sample, this one. And I have actually worn quite a bit of it. I wore it twice, and I have sampled this for the first time when Pantubhai came here, one of my brothers. He's also the owner of Fragrance BD. So once he came to visit me during the Eid time, like last Eid, and we had a nice chit chat for 3-4 hours, and he brought the big 11 ml like travel atomizer with him, uh, that he owns, and he said, I want you to try it. Moment I sprayed on me, I was blown away. So that's when I fell in love with this perfume. But I'll let you know my full on review today. So thanks once again, Fragrance BD, for the beautiful gifts. I always am indebted. So this fragrance by Kilian, they sell about 50 ml bottles, and I think they have full on presentation, which cost about, I think, $100 more than their refillable bottles. So they sell the refillable ones. You can use the smaller little bottles, travel atomizer. You can use that as well. That's gonna cost you about 200 something dollars. And the full-on presentations usually are going for regular line goes for almost $300. So 300 something dollars. So their presentation is just mind blowing. The bottle boxes, everything is just top notch. They give you a key, the skull. Some of their fragrances, they have the snake on them. I don't know if it's the female release, but By Kilian mostly make also fragrance for celebrities. Like one of the fragrances he made for Rihanna, I think that cost about what, 5,000, $50,000. I don't remember, but it's crazy, insane. We cannot afford that, and it's like specially designed for the celebrities. So yeah, very posh house. Recently I heard sad news that he sold his company, but he's still making perfumes. So yeah, let's see how this one goes. So basically this is called Intoxicated, and this fragrance is one of the best fragrance I ever sniffed. And I'll tell you one thing, if you're a coffee lover, this fragrance is a must try for you. So the first time when I tried it on me, it was like a restaurant, and I had people around me. There were like few people, customers around. So I had absolutely, like, I was not paying that much attention. I just knew when it sprayed on me, I knew I loved it. And I thought it's kind of boozy, kind of like a dark, not really coffee. I kind of felt like there's something darkness behind it, something sweet coming from the base. And I asked him, brother, what is this? And he said it's coffee based. So later on, I went home and I did my research, and then I got to find out it's pretty similar to some one popular fragrance. I'll tell you. So let's spray this and talk about it, and let's see what to expect from it. Is it a buy, pass, or try? I have it on my hand. Dry down is there. Let me spray once more, refresh it just to get the top notes. Okay. I think we got enough of juice. This fragrance has beast mode performance. Okay. By Kilian, oh man. By Kilian, most of the fragrances, they have awesome like performance wise, no issue. So 50 ml, some people might say it's a bit expensive for what it is, but I'm not gonna say I will probably be like wowed by every single fragrance they have, because it's not possible. But so far the ones that I sniffed, I really like them. So I want to try, I think, the single malt, and I want to try, I think, absinthe. And they have the two fragrances, some boozy fragrances, and black to black. I think I want to try these three mostly. So this fragrance is absolutely gorgeous from the word go. So on Fragrant, if you go, it has four notes: cardamom, nutmeg, cinnamon, and coffee. But I get a little bit more from it, and it gets compared to a lot of Amin, Angelman, which I haven't used for a long time. This is basically a winter baby. So this fragrance, of course, 1990s baby, 1994 or 6, I forgot. and this is 2014 release. So I'm not gonna say they took the idea from or the DNA from Amin because I'm not quite sure. Could be not. All right, but this one does have some resemblance to Amin. I think Sebastian Zara talked about it. Let me take it out of the way. The similarity between these two are the dark, sweet coffee, the milky coffee sort of feel that you also get from this. But Amen, to my nose, it's a lot more complex than this. It's a lot more rough and tough. It's a lot more animalic, and there's a lot more going on in this fragrance compared to this one. Okay, I'm not saying that makes it better fragrance than this. They are two. You can have them both in your collection. You can enjoy them both equally. So Amen, they have that dirty, tar, patchouli, coffee, milky sort of feel. They have the sugary note. They have plenty thing going on in this one. Some people say they get a kind of mint up top. So it's a very complex, one of the most complex and darkest, most beautifully crafted fragrances, which is very hard to fall in love with. But once you get the concept, you will enjoy wearing this in cold weather. So the fragrance Amen, it's Amen. Okay, you do not. I'm not gonna say, oh, that fragrance is not as good as this one because it's a niche one. Okay, so the beauty of this fragrance is the smoothness about it. By Kilian make fragrances, they are anything you sniff. So far, that my experience is anything that I sniffed, I found out their openings are just something like wow, bold, big opening. It has a sweetness. I get that milky, sort of like a boozy, kind of like a boozy kind of coffee that has some milk in it. I don't know if such thing exists. Maybe Irish coffee. Irish coffee I never had, but imagine some. It's like a you mix. Let me tell you, the boozy part of this one is it's not mentioned in Fragrantica. I'm getting like, kind of like if you smelled. What's that one? Guinness black beer, like the what is called, I don't know what exactly the name of it is, just that very bitter, sort of like a bitter beer, like Guinness, the black one, that and coffee mixed. That's what I get from this in the opening. Has some sort of milky vibe to it as well. It's just superbly sweet. It's not so animalic. It's not very scary, but the fragrance is intoxicating. Like that's the intoxicating part of it. And the dry down is a little bit different. So you do get that kind of like cardamom sort of spices with mixed with that nutmeg. But I think there is also uh, perhaps there's a patchouli note in there which I detected. My Burberry EDP. That one has a big nice patchouli note which I'm picking from this, but it's just my nose. It could be wrong. So the fragrance is kind of like a semi-dark. It's not super gothic, but it has that beautiful craftsmanship about it. You're sipping coffee and coffee bean, and you're just doing your work, and you're wearing dressed in black. That's the kind of feel I get from it. I think it's very, very alluring scent. It does have, even for the small sample, it has 8 hours plus longevity. Projection is also pretty good, but I think if you talk about scent strength, Amen is a little bit more pungent than this one, but it's a lot more louder and a lot more animalic compared to this. So you can call it like Amen. On the paper, it smells a little bit different. That I can see the comparison, but they're not really. They're similar but not same. So Angel Man, it's a fragrance on its own. It's a lot more sweeter, a lot more notes, plenty more notes going on in this. You can smell that minty sort of vibe coming up, milky sort of vibe coming up, chocolatey vibe as well. Tar, patchouli, all those darker notes. It's kind of dirty, earthy. But this one, you don't quite get that dirty feel, from this one. So it makes it kind of smooth, polished kind of a perfume. I would wear this in nighttime, very mysterious nighttime. Colder weather would be perfect, especially when to go and have some coffee in the colder winter nights. That's the kind of perfume this is. It's amazing quality. Okay, so longevity and projection, I'll give this like a 9 out of 10 on an average. The smell of it, 10. It's just so beautiful. I love Amen. I love this equally. Can women wear it? I think yes, of course women would smell very nice, but women with a little bit of character. This is not for shy women, like this is more for outspoken, confident. They can hold big position in workplace or community, and they can be leaders. They're strong. This smells like a very strong characteristic. Okay, when you shouldn't wear it, high heat. If it's sunny out there, heat and humidity happening, just put it back. If you have this fragrance, put it back. So one last thing I'll tell you before I finish, that this fragrance I'm going to give it overall 10 still, because I love it so much. But one thing I'll tell you, By Kilian fragrances are extremely expensive. So most of the people like us, we can buy it perhaps after saving a lot of money, but if we cannot afford it, we should try to get a small sample like this, spend a little bit of fraction of the price, and try to experience this fragrance in life once in lifetime. That's my only request. And I was lucky enough that I got a gift from my brothers. But if you want to get a discovery set, try this house. I think this house is pure quality. I do not know if they have 100 ml bottles. If they had, that would be actually much nicer for people, because sometimes people prefer 100 ml bottles. Presentation top notch, pricing is a little bit pricey, but I can understand why they're charging, perhaps for the brand and then the quality of the perfumes. So this By Kilian Intoxicated, it's perfection 10. Very sexy, alluring, but if you do not like coffee, if you do not like those spicy notes, perhaps you should pass, because this is not for everybody. I love it because I'm in that part of journey at this moment in 4 or 5 years down, right? By Kilian Intoxicated. That's my review. Thanks for watching, and good night from Dhaka, Bangladesh. Bye bye.